Hi there, this is Dave Ferguson with Event Planner Productivity Hacks and Perfect Event Proposals. Here today with me, I've got Carroll Reuben on the line. Carroll is an event planner with over 30 years experience in the corporate and association event side of things. She's a fellow Brit, and she's been in the United States for over 40 years. She's been lecturing at California State University for the last 10 years and a guest speaker at Californian Lutheran University. And one thing that struck me when I was speaking to Carol last year is just she had some awesome insights. She was very straight down the line and quite blunt with some of her views, which I really respected. And she just really gave me some amazing feedback on my project. So I wanted to get Carol here today. So welcome, Carol.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Well, thank you for being with us. So if you could just give us a little bit of detail on your background, how you got started in events, and what's happened from when you started to where you are now.
I started event planning in the last century in London when I went to work for the National Coal Board. I had graduated from college and went straight to work for the National Coal Board on a team of 5 people who were producing a mining congress.
Wow.
Which is just another way of saying a conference in this country. This was before the days of computers. It was even before the days of electric typewriters.
Oh, wow. So when was this? When are we talking?
Now you're asking me to give away secrets.
Okay, no worries. But
let's say Moses was still up the mountain with his tablets of stone.
Right. Okay.
That started me in meeting planning because with that team of 5 people, we were doing a congress for 2,000 delegates, which was going to last for 2 weeks.
Mm.
Because it was international, they were all going to bring their families to London, which meant we had about 5,000 people. We had to educate them, entertain them, accommodate them, feed them, and transport them, all in 4 languages.
Wow, and this was your first ever event?
This was my first ever event. And it was such an adrenaline rush, I decided that's what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Oh, great, because I could imagine it sounds like a definite trial by fire, so you're either going to love it or run a mile.
That's right. Well, they say to be a good meeting planner, you have to be suicidal.
And do you agree with that?
You have to be able to stand a heck of a lot of stress and not be distressed by it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, Forbes magazine recently had event planners as number 8 of the most stressful jobs in the world.
It is, but you must not be distressed.
Sure. Yeah, keeping your cool and being diplomatic is definitely some of the most vital traits for an event planner. So, going from the coal mining congress, how's your career developed?
I came to this country and started my own business in 1981, and I started the business as what's known as a multi-management company, where I managed conferences and trade shows for several trade and technical associations.
Right.
I specialized in high technology and engineering because I'm very analytical and that was my comfort level, and built it up to we had 14 planners and analysts working for me, and we were doing 15 to 20 major events a year all around the country and in Europe.
Okay.
That I put it to sleep, or put it out of its misery, if you like, or put me out of my misery after 8 years, and went to work for one of my clients, which was Southern California Edison.
Right.
And for a further 5 years, I did all their commercial and industrial events.
Okay. And how did you find the transition from having your own company to then working for a client?
Oh, it was wonderful. I didn't have to worry about payroll.
I can imagine you've got your job to do and that's it. You don't have to worry about the rest.
Though having had my own business, it did give me a unique insight into more of the profit and loss and return on investment of the events.
Right. Yes. And this is something I know that you're very hot on now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Which is great. So, um, and then after, when did you finish working for Edison?
I left Edison in 95 and then became executive director of a not for profit association in the healthcare environment.
Uh-huh.
And I was there for 1 year because I learned that I was not entirely comfortable in the healthcare world. I preferred my engineering and technology.
Sure.
So chose not to renew my contract. And even though we were doing about 60 continuing education seminars a year and a major conference, I left them and went to work for a .com.
Okay.
This was when the .com world was just exploding.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a company that had just started in that arena. They were sort of literally living on folding chairs and tables. And over the 5 years I was with them, we took our educational conferences to being award-winning shows on the front cover of most of the meeting planning trade magazines.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was, and we were very, very successful at it. But like all .coms, it is now .gone.
Sure, right.
And when
And
I
where
finished,
did that leave you then when the bubble burst?
when the bubble burst, I sort of sat back, and it was one of those years where everything sort of piles in on you. And I took a step back to reevaluate where I was and what I was doing, and decided it was time to give back.
Okay.
And that was when I started teaching at California State University
Mhm.
for their event planning courses, and started speaking for many of the associations. I'd always been giving seminars for Meeting Professionals International, but now I ramped it up to be far more. And I started my consulting with various organizations that I met along the way, doing their budgets, their sponsorship programs, whatever special needs they had as far as the event planning. I would come and fill in that special need on a contract basis.
Right. Okay. And so are they the things that take up most of your time right now? You're teaching at Cal State University and you're consulting?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, that's great. So you sound like you've obviously got some amazing and very varied experience in lots of different areas. So, but all with event planning. So, one of the first things I want to ask you about, which is one of the biggest frustrations I hear from event planners every time I interview them, is just not having enough time. So, are there any tips or strategies you can share with the audience to of anything that you know that's great for saving time?
Use your technology wisely.
Okay.
You have to be proficient with your word processing, your Excel spreadsheets, and any other technology. Don't use the wrong tool for the wrong job. If you're talking database management, use a database program. Don't try and do it all in Excel because you won't have the same capabilities. If you're using Word, then learn how to use Word to the fullest extent. It's an amazingly powerful processing system. If you can add other technology to it to make your life faster or save money as far as outsourcing, such as desktop publishing or graphics, then do so. But technology is your friend and you must use it.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I do speak to a fair few event planners though that say that they describe themselves as untech savvy. Is there any advice you can give to those people?
Um, I'm a little impatient with those people. We've been using computers for nearly 30 years now.
Right.
They have been on our desktops for 15 to 20 years.
Sure.
Um, it is amazing to me that people that have a career of this nature have not embraced it as being the tool that's going to make their life so much easier.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that. Okay. Let me rephrase that then. For those event planners who find it hard to keep up with constantly learning new technology, are there any particular platforms or programs that an event planner you think really should focus on, prioritize their time to learn those particular platforms?
Excel.
Excel. Okay.
And where do you learn it? YouTube.
Sure. Yeah, YouTube is definitely the best for pretty
It
much learning anything.
it is probably the primary learning tool for most accepted software programs on a computer today, from the standard Microsoft all the way to the Adobe suites. You can learn it all on YouTube.
Right. Okay. And other than Excel or Word, are there any other types of software or platforms that people may not be so familiar with that you think it would be really useful for them to take a look at?
As far as project management goes, Fast Track, which is what I call Microsoft Project Lite,
Okay.
is an acceptable program because it has templates already built into it. The key thing with the timeline is to identify all the tasks that have to be undertaken, their start date, their end date, and the resources that are going to complete them. And in some cases, you have to monitor the cost factor. Fast Track will allow you to do that and allow you to build Gantt charts. So you've got a picture of what's happening as well as words.
Brilliant. Okay, and Fast Track, I will put a link in the transcription for this audio. So if you've never heard of Fast Track, then you will be able to find it. So Fast Track, it's project management. It allows you to lay out all your ideas in and put them into Gantt charts. Is there anything else that it does? Is there anything that you think is really a lot
Well,
better?
if you're realistic about putting in exactly how long each task will take, and then you start to overcommit yourself, it will tell you. If you've put in that you're working a basic 40-hour week, and then you start building your task list, and you say, okay, each task is going to take me X number of hours, whatever, and it finds that you're pushing yourself to 60 hours in the week, it's going to tell you.
That's awesome because that really comes down to just time management. And as soon as you start managing your time into that level of detail, then you're going to be able to find out where you can save time.
Exactly. There is another program for those people that are doing room layouts. It's called Meeting Matrix,
Okay.
which is a graphics program. It is free to meeting planners at the base level.
Uh-huh.
The way it works is that major facilities, hotels and conference facilities, they pay to upload their floor plans to Meeting Matrix.
Uh-huh.
And then when you sign on to Meeting Matrix, you can download that floor plan. And then with the tools that Meeting Matrix provides, you can put in your tables and chairs and staging and risers and potted plants and everything else, and ultimately develop your floor plan.
Brilliant.
In major hotels like New York, Chicago, LA, it will also convert it to a three-dimensional image.
Okay, well, that's brilliant because that's something that's come up a few times when I've been talking to people about proposal writing, and the getting the 3D images can sometimes cost a lot of money.
Right.
So if this does that for free, then that's brilliant.
It's a very good program. The only thing is it only runs on a PC.
Right.
So if you're running Mac, then you've got to run a parallel simulator.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. For the people that are using Macs and that want to use that program, I'm sure they can figure out how to do that. But that's great. So for time saving, you just to recap, you said really learn Excel and Word, use YouTube, check out Fast Track and Meeting Matrix as well as two of your top tips. So that's great. How about in terms of money saving? Is there any strategies or advice you can give for that element?
As far as money saving goes, the first thing you have to do is lay out your template in Excel so that you can itemize all the categories and then each item, because the bottom line is you have to know exactly how much it costs for each attendee to participate in your event.
Right.
You can only do that by determining whether each expense is either fixed or variable.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
template.
so just quickly, in case people aren't 100% sure on that, could you define fixed and variable costs?
Fixed costs are those costs that do not change no matter how many people show up. For instance, room rental.
Right.
If room rental is $500 a day, it doesn't matter if there's one person in the room or 30 people in the room, it is still $500.
Sure.
A variable fee would be your food and beverage, which you can adjust. You start with a base projection based upon the number that you've chosen. But if you see through registrations or RSVPs that number is going to exceed your original projection or fall far below it, you can vary it.
Right.
And the formula must be that you total all your fixed costs and divide by the estimated number of attendees. You total all your variable costs per person, and then you divide them to get the cost per person to attend.
Right. And then once you've got that figure, how would you use that to help you save money?
Because if you have set out that template properly and you've done all the formulas correctly, by doing a very simple saving, for instance, you have decided that you're going to change the asparagus on the entree for green beans, and you're going to save 5 cents per entree on a luncheon for 300 people, that could mount up. All you need to do is change one cell, and you can see the difference it makes to the bottom line. More broad tips: if you're serving morning breaks, luncheon, and afternoon break, for the luncheon, only serve the salad and entree, and prepare a dessert that can be served in the afternoon break, such as carrot cake or something like that. So you don't have to add more food for the afternoon break. You're actually using the dessert from lunch.
Okay, and you just going back a step, you mentioned about the template that you use. Where did you get that template?
It's one I designed, probably 20 years ago. It goes in conjunction with my classes and my book. It's a template. It's very simple. It's simply an Excel template, but all the formulas are built into it now. And it's available for people that purchase my book. You can get it from the website, my website.
Okay, great. Please tell us the title of your book and your website address.
The title of the book is Event Budgets Made Easy.
Mm-hmm.
My website is www.meetingexcellence, all one word, .com.
Okay, brilliant. So anyone listening to this, if you do want to get hold of that template, then just go to Carol's website, where the link will be added, and you will be able to get a copy of that template. So that's brilliant. Thanks, Carol. In terms of new business, it's always getting new business is always top on many of the event planners' agendas that I speak to. Any advice for that?
It's called networking.
Right. And yeah, I can see that because out of all the 200 people I've spoken to, about 98% of them get almost all of their business from referrals. So how would you advise people to improve their networking?
Primary source is LinkedIn.
Right.
Make sure that the summary is up to date. Visit it frequently and see who is following your profile.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a non-paid subscription, you can see at least 5 people that have followed your profile in the last 7 days. Take a look and see if it's somebody you want to reach out to and if you can help them.
Right. Yes.
And the other thing on LinkedIn is testimonials. Every time you do a great job, ask for a testimonial and keep them coming.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great, and that ties in very nicely with the live training sessions that I've been doing every Wednesday, where I'm advising people how to improve their proposals and testimonials and references. Definitely high on that. So, do you just ask for written testimonials? Have you ever asked for video testimonials?
I have not asked for a video one as yet.
Right.
Um, Video is I'm a perfectionist, and I want, if I'm going to put a video up there, I want it to be really good. It's got to be HD.
Sure, right.
And I would rather just go with a good written testimonial than a bad quality video.
Right. Okay. Yes, I can understand that. And when it comes to testimonials, do you um, have the other person write the testimonial completely, or do you give them a few things that you might like them to include?
No, I let them write it completely.
Okay, great.
And I have been blessed by having some really great testimonials.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. Definitely. And I can, your reputation stands for itself, and having testimonials is really the only way that other people can get to know what your reputation is. So it is very valuable. And how about other getting kind of higher paying clients or higher value clients?
I would say that a lot of my personal marketing has been done through my speaking and writing.
Right.
Um, when I took on the speaking tour with MPI and HSMAI and the Society of Government Meeting Professionals, I do those peer-to-peer presentations, not for the money because they don't pay that much, but it has definitely provided me with some good results as far as potential clients.
Sure.
Because people that are coming to those seminars basically are looking for help. And I have had several clients come out as a result of seminars I've given in Chicago and New York and Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And also, then I guess, does that tie in with your lecturing at the university? You mentioned on previously that you also have a network created because of that.
Yes, because that's the extension program, and the students there, many of them are currently employed as event planners and want to increase their knowledge and education, or their companies are supporting them in professional development. And so I've had some fairly big organizations send their people to the classroom. And I have always had the philosophy that you can always email me and I will answer an email. Just let me know you were a student. If you want to sit and chat about something, as long as I've got a cup of coffee on my desk, I'll chat on the phone. But if you want me to do your work, you have to pay me.
Well, that's definitely fair enough. Okay, great. And then, how about? I'm just trying to think because your experience and your situation is excellent and very different from some of the other audience. If you've got any advice for any of the event planners that are maybe a little more new to starting out and don't have the opportunity as yet to speak at different seminars, of how they could potentially find higher value clients?
Um, I would say, first of all, if you're starting out, decide what your passion and your specialty is. Don't. It's awfully easy to be a generalist and say, I'll do any event that comes along. But decide whether you want to be a special event planner, i.e., doing awards, banquets, weddings, etc. If you want to be a corporate and association planner, or if you want to be a destination management planner, pick your lane and make your reputation in that lane and target your marketing to that lane. If you do a shotgun approach and just call yourself meeting planner and anything comes along, you won't develop the same specialty in those events that you do. So your reputation has to be painstakingly earned, And then you have to promote yourself constantly. Self-promotion is a lifetime exercise, not just when you're looking for a job or a new customer.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, that's brilliant advice. Thank you. I totally agree with everything you've said there. And just because we've only got a few more minutes left, one of the other uh, aspects or frustrations that comes up to me a lot is scaling. A lot of event planners feel that they do a great job at getting their business going, and then they get it to a certain level and it plateaus, and they feel that they just don't have enough time to take it to the next level. Is there any advice you can give for those planners?
First of all, this is a very personal selection as to whether they want to grow. Are they willing to take on payroll
Uh-huh.
employees, or do they just want to stay working with contract employees where they will just draw from either Meeting Professionals International? That's a good resource for other meeting planners that you're looking to partner with to come and help you with the project. And I've done that many times, myself.
Uh-huh.
The other thing is interns.
Right.
If you go to your local uh, extension programs at universities or city colleges, very often they have event management programs, and the students are more than willing to do an internship so that they will gain experience. This could be on a part-time basis. It could be on a no pay or minimum pay basis. But very often you can find students that would be more than willing to come and help you over that next level so that you can take on a little bit more work and have them do the day-to-day administrative work involved in meeting planning while you pursue something else.
Yes, yeah, no, that's great. That's a really good idea. I like that because the interns are getting exactly what they need, and you are getting what you need as well. So that's a perfect answer. I mean, you did mention just briefly then about partnering with other event planners. How would that work if you've got a client? How would you structure that partnership?
Um, the way I have done it is that other meeting planner that I brought in is on a contract basis.
Uh-huh.
We've established either a rate per hour or a project fee for that planner, and I build that fee into the budget for the total event.
Right. Okay, great. And is that so when you're doing that, you're basically taking them on as another contractor, and they're kind of being your assistant planner?
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Wow. Well, that's some amazingly useful information, Carol. Thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure our audience appreciates it as well. So, just one last time, if you could just remind everyone where they can contact you.
Okay. My email is Reuben at cox.net.
Uh-huh.
My website is www.meetingexcellence.com. And you can purchase my book for $29.95 on that website.
Great.
So I would be very happy to answer any questions or help anybody along the way.
Oh, well, thank you. That's much appreciated. I'll be putting links to all of those in the show notes. So, yeah, once again, thanks very much for sharing your years of experience with the other planners in the audience. And I really appreciate you taking the time. So, thank you and have a great day.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.